everyone, this is Marika and welcome back to another session of Communication and Education Technology. As we are dealing with the seventh unit, which is Educational Media, under this we have discussed several different types of educational media, what are the different purposes of different types of educational media, what are the different guidelines that are to be followed, and also advantages and disadvantages of using each of the educational media. In this session today, we are going to discuss about an educational media that is most commonly used in today's world, which is computer. We all already know what a computer is, right? So a computer is a programmable device that is sequentially and automatically designed in such a way that it carries out certain logical operations. So a computer is a programmable machine or a device that carries out automatically certain programs or certain operations. A computer is a device that can store as well as process the data. We all know a computer is a device in which we can store variety of data, different forms of data. So a computer is a device which can be used in order to store as well as process the information or the data. A computer is an electronic device or an electronic machine that carries out certain programmed instruction or certain programmed operation under the control of stored program. So a computer basically is a programmable machine which has various stored data or various stored program in it. With the use of computer, we can not just process the information, we can store the data. The computer works automatically in order to give a desired result to the user. And if we study a computer, if we look into the components of computer, we see that the computer has majorly two different parts or two different components, which is called as hardware and a software. So we all know that in any computers or any laptops, we have hardware and the software. Let us see what is the hardware component of a computer and what is the software component of the computer. Now, as the term suggests, hardware component of a computer refers to the tangible component of the particular computer. So, all the tangible components which can be touched by the user are the hardware component of a computer. Now, the hardware component of a computer runs or follows the instruction that is provided by the software. So, here in the picture, you can see the hardware component of the computer. It includes the processor, RAM, motherboard. All of this shown in the picture is a hardware component of a computer or a monitor. So hardware is any component of a computer that has a physical structure which is tangible, which can be touched by the user, such as keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, etc. Now, of course, when we are talking about the hardware component of a computer, we are talking about keyboard, monitor, which can be viewed by the user externally. But the hardware also includes all the internal component of the computer which has a physical structure or which is tangible. Here is a picture where it shows the internal component of a hardware. So not just something which is visible to our eyes externally, but also all the components which has a physical structure and which is present in the internal part of the computer is also the hardware. Now, what is a software then? A software is something that cannot be seen or that cannot interact with the user directly. The user cannot touch or it does not have a physical structure. But the software allows the user interact with the hardware and it gives direction for the hardware to perform all the given tasks. All right. So software is the intangible component, whereas hardware is the tangible component which has a physical structure which can be seen by the user. Whereas software are the intangible components of a computer that cannot be seen or that does not have a physical structure, but it is through the software a user communicates or the user interacts with the hardware. So it is the software that commands the hardware to perform certain specific tasks. Software is a set of instructions that tells the hardware what is to be done and how it is to be done. Examples of software are web browsing or games that we play in the computer. Everything that we do using a computer relies both on the hardware as well as on the software. So it is not just the hardware that consists a computer or that makes the computer work. It is the combination of both the hardware and the software. Computers are extremely fast information processing machines or devices. The computer has the ability to process the data, to store the data, to retrieve the data, and has various other functions. We already know that computer is used for playing games. It can also be used for making presentations, making videos. It can be used for storing the documents. It can be used for sending the emails, playing games, and several other purposes. So computer is a multitasking device. It has various functions that it can perform. Now, for a computer to process, as a user, we have to give an input, or we have to provide an input. So a computer takes the input, processes the data, and gives the desired output. So in order to get a certain answer, or in order to get a certain result from the computer, we have to provide an input. After the user provides the input, the computer processes the data and provides the required output for the user. Now, as we know, computers from the time they were developed has undergone various changes, and there are several developments that we see in computer. And if we see in today's world, the computers are described or differentiated in the form of generation. We see that there are different generations of computer. We hear computer from first generation to fourth generation. The first computer was invented in the year 1946. So from that period of time till now, the computer, the microelectronics, the chips that are used in the computer has undergone several development, and there are different generations of computer that we find in today's world. In today's world, we see that the computers even exist to the fifth generation of the computers. If we see now, the computer has developed from the first generation, which is in the year 1946, to the fifth generation in today's world. But the computer that is widely used by different people all around the world is still the fourth generation computer. So the development of computer has reached to the fifth generation, but the widely used computer is the fourth generation computer in today's world. At present, if we see, the computer that we have is the most sophisticated, modern, handy, and it has also become an essential part of our education system. The computers are not just essential aspect or essential part of education system. It is used in every different field in today's world, and there are few characteristics because of which the computers are chosen as a medium or chosen as an integral part of education as well as several different fields. The characteristics of computers such as accuracy, the speed at which the computer works, and the vast memory or the storage capacity of the computer. So computer is a very fast electronic device, and it is also accurate in working or giving the desired result, as well as it has a vast storage capacity. Let us now see the importance of computer in education. Educational use of computer is more concerned with enhancing the effectiveness of learning. So computer is used in education in order to enhance the learning or in order to enhance the teaching process. Now, a computer can be regarded or can be referred to as an add-on to the teaching learning process, but not an replacement. So computer cannot be considered as a replacement to the conventional teaching process or to the conventional classroom method of teaching, but it can be considered as an add-on or a supplement to enhance the learning of the students. Computer is a technological tool that deserves to be used at the right time and in the right way in order to improve the teaching learning or in order to improve the learning of the students. Now, the decision of when to use a computer or how to use a computer or to what extent a computer must be used in education must be totally decided by the teacher. So it is in the hands of the teacher to decide when a computer is necessary or when a computer will act as a supplement for the teaching process. To what extent it must be used and how it must be used must be decided by a teacher according to the class he or she is dealing. Now, computer in education can be applied to different subjects ranging from mathematics to even learning music. Computer has the capability to supplement as an educational media in different subjects such as mathematics, science, social studies, as well as to learn music. Let us see the basic or the essential use of a computer in education system. The first one is computer facilitates active learning in the students as the students themselves have to interact with the computer. So the first educational use is that computer facilitates active learning among the students as they have to interact with the computer on their own. Another important use of computer in education is that computer helps in recalling the learned material because of the visual impressions. So through the use of computer, the students are able to visualize what they are learning. Because of this, because the students are able to visualize what is being taught to the students or what they are learning, the recalling ability of the students is much higher with the use of computer. Another important benefit of using a computer is that it enhances interactive learning through continuous feedback from the computer. So while a student is using a computer, it provides a feedback to the student. It gives a constant feedback to the student. If a student is using a computer for a mathematical problem and if the student is not able to get it right, the computer gives the feedback or the computer tells the student that whatever the student has done is incorrect. So computer provides constant feedback to the learners, which improves or which enhances interactive learning among the students. The educational use of computer can also be seen, or it is also beneficial for long distance education. The computer enables a large number of students to learn skills or acquire knowledge about a certain topic or a certain aspect in much lower cost than possible through the conventional teaching learning process. So computer can be used even in distance learning, which enhances the learning for the students, as well as learning of new skills and knowledge is possible in much lower cost than in an actual classroom setup. In distance education, computer can function as a replacement of the human tutor, where the teacher himself or herself is not being able to present, when the teacher do not have that ability to be able to be present and teach the student, computer can be used as a surrogate to the human tutor for the particular course of long distance education. Even though the computer lacks intelligence and flexibility of a human tutor, it can act as a replacement of a human tutor, especially in long distance education. So these are the various use of a computer in education. Let us now see the various advantages computer as an educational media has to offer. There are certain essential capabilities and qualities of a computer which makes the computer an integral part of the education system. Let us see what are those essential components, and qualities of the computer. The very first advantage of using a computer as an educational media is that computer helps to work fast and accurate. So as we have been discussing from the introduction, computer helps the individual to work fast and it is very accurate. So with the speed of the computer, all the tasks that is to be carried out by the human becomes much easier and accurate. The next advantage is that computers are reliable. So of course, computer is a programmed device or a programmed machine that carries out functions or carries out tasks that it is asked to carry out once input is provided. So computer is a reliable device which can be used for teaching the students or for teaching learning process in education. Another very important benefit of using a computer is that because the computers are very fast, because they work at high speed, they save a lot of time if the task has to be carried out manually. So if any task is to be carried out manually, of course it requires a lot of time as well as effort. But with the use of the computer helps to save time in carrying out certain activities and tasks. Another advantage of using a computer is that it helps in repetitive work. So with the use of computers, same task can be carried out again and again with much ease, and also because the computer stores the data, repetitive work can also be avoided with the use of computer. Ideas can be understood easily and quickly with the use of computer. When a computer is used in order to do a certain presentation or to explain a certain topic, it is understood quickly as well as easily with the use of computer. Another benefit is that photographs and various images can be transferred with the use of computer for making a certain presentation easy. So if we have to use photographs or images which can be included in the presentation to make the presentation more creative, as well as easily understandable. Photographs, images, videos can be transferred from the computer with the use of computer. Computer stores huge amount of information or the data in the form of sound, in the form of text, in the form of presentations or photos and videos as well. Another advantage of a computer is that they take up a very little space, usually that of just a small table. So for the computer, we do not need large space to place the computer or for the operation of the computer. A small space on top of the table is usually enough for using a computer or for operating the computer. Now, if we talk about advanced form of computers such as laptops or notebooks, it only occupies the space of our palm. The space that the computer uses is a very small space. Another advantage is that computers are portable, which means the user is able to move the computer from one place to another whenever required. Especially when we talk about notebooks or laptops, the computer can be used in any different place. Even if we travel to certain places, computer can be used even during that period of time to work or to gain any kind of knowledge. Another benefit is that computers are highly interactive and they also allow communication from one place to another. So with the computer and with a proper internet connection, we are able to communicate from one place to another place as well. So they are highly interactive. And the last advantage is that computers are user-friendly and they are easy to operate. Let us now see what are the various disadvantages of using a computer. The very first disadvantage is that computer is not a cost-effective tool. Even though it is an essential part of education system, the cost of the computer is high, which obviously means that computer cannot be used in every different types of educational setup because it is high in cost. Now, another proven disadvantage of using a computer is that stress is widely associated with the continuous use of computer. And finally, it is also associated with physical problems such as the problems of the back, eye, as well as other musculoskeletal problems. So of course, continuously using a computer gives strain to the eyes. The user may have problems in their eyes, and also because they have to sit and use a computer for a long period of time, they may also lead to musculoskeletal problems. So these are the various disadvantages of using a computer. To summarize, today we have discussed about what is a computer, what are the educational importance of using a computer in an educational setup, and we also discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of using a computer. I hope the class was helpful, and I'll see you all in the next session where we will discuss about guidelines to be followed while using different kinds of audiovisual aids. Thank you and have a great day ahead.